Welcome to Food Friday here on the Hunt Harvest Health podcast, where we dish out food topics, recipes, and answer your questions related to food, food prep, and nutrition. Find our recipes and tips on our website at huntharvesthealth.com.
On today's episode, we give the recipe for Ryan's Backcountry Bars. We talk about healthy snacks and how to make them yourself, as well as why fats are so good for you.
All right, so as far as like snacks that I eat throughout the day while I'm up there, now this will vary, but I've kind of gone to, again, just making my own snacks. I used to go through all the various bars and bagels. I do, bagels and peanut butter, bagels and cheese, all this kind of stuff. And I've kind of gone away from that. I just like to kind of make my own bars. And they're so easy to make that, there's no reason to go out and buy these bars and get sick of them when you can just kind of make them yourself and change recipes if you do get sick of them. So, while I'm up there, I'll eat, a couple a day and then kind of mix that in with, some dehydrated fruits and jerky. And other than that, it's kind of like my mountain mush recipe. I eat that at least once, twice throughout the day after breakfast. I get, all kinds of calories there and everything I need. But when I make bars, it's really basic. I make those no-bake bars. And this is, again, it's everybody, I just recommend playing with it and getting a bar that you like before the season starts. That's why right now is kind of a good time to start playing with making your own protein bars. So kind of just the basic formula. I always have shredded coconut in there. I use a lot of oats with that as well. And I'll add, this is something I'll actually put chocolate protein powder into, or vanilla, whatever your flavor is. But, and then, amounts, I'll usually do like a cup of shredded coconut, a couple cups of rolled oats, whatever you want for protein. You want to jack it up, you can add more, 3 to 4 scoops of protein powder. I'll add maybe a half to a full cup of agave, a couple cups of peanut butter, 2 to 3 cups, and then I'll just put a little bit of vanilla extract in there and some cinnamon, and it's just it's so easy to make, and that's something to kind of bind it all together. You either jack up the peanut butter, or you can. What I've done a lot is I'll add that. It's like a coconut milk. I'll buy it in a can. It's loaded with fat again, and it kind of binds those oats together. So when you go to mix this up, you basically throw it all in a dish and mix it up, and then just kind of pack it into your dish there. And
it's different than the coconut milk you buy in like the milk section. It's the canned coconut milk that you would buy to make curry or something. It's a little thicker.
It's thick. It's fatty. It's perfect, and it just binds it. And so I'll just do that. I'll make that all up. And, drop it in the fridge overnight. Next morning, cut it up, take those bars to whatever size you want, and just vacuum pack them. And, you can do it with or without the coconut milk. But that's kind of been one of my go-tos. And again, just a huge advantage of doing that is knowing what you put in it. And also, you can kind of change the flavors as you go, so you're not stuck with, a whole pile of Cliff Bars or something that's just gotten you grossed out or eating too many of them. But
the bars too are great because they're a great snack even at home. Ryan will make a bunch of them, and me and the girls will eat them, and they're so dense. You cannot eat that much. They're so dense, and you just feel full really quick. So
yeah. Now on the back of I don't pack a ton of these. I will pack just enough because they are heavy, but they are calorie packed, so it doesn't take much to get a bunch of calories there. And when we're in the backcountry, we're always shooting for as many calories as possible. We're burning way more calories being up there in the elevation. Sometimes it's cold, so we're chewing through calories like crazy, and just the exertion that we go through getting up, down, everywhere, it's just you're burning through it. So trying to keep your calories way up is the most important. Now, there's a balance there. You don't want to be packing a ton of weight in food, so you kind of have to figure that out yourself. How many calories it will work for you, and depending on the hunt that you're on, if you're on a giant, steep elevated trip where you need a lot of calories. You're gonna have to pack a little more in versus a relatively easy trip. So
what about fat? Because I understand how many calories and how dense fat is. Do you have any fat that you take in the background? In the backcountry?
Well, I get a ton of fat from just the fact that I'm eating so much peanut butter and almond butter, preferably. I think I get a little bit more out of the almond butter, but so like in that protein bar that I make, it's got the shredded coconut in there. It's got, like I said, a lot of peanut butter, almond butter. So I'm getting fats there, and then also, you can always jack any of your meals up if you want extra fat, and that's never a bad thing. With just those you can buy those little coconut packets, like 1 ounce coconut packets. You can get them at Walmart or shoot wherever. Get them online; they're cheap. As well as the little olive oil packets that are, again, it's like 200 calories per little tiny packet. You could suck on those all day and really jack your calories way up. But then the peanut butter is where I get most of it, and the nuts that I put in there. I like those Justin packets. They're just, man, it's almost 200 calories per. It's like 190 calories per, and I could just eat that for a snack. So again, that's pretty important. Definitely the fats. Trying to get as many as I can. I think it helps me overall. Kind of gives me a good sustained energy, and I think that's one of the reasons why now I don't get sore after a huge pack out. I just seem to recover a lot better. Probably the most important time to eat healthy and get the right nutrients and get everything that you need, especially those fats, is when you're in the backcountry, when you're on a hunt. It's more important back there because you're giving everything you've got.
Well, I think too, in a lot of the prepared foods that you buy, they're not using always the most, unless you're spending a lot of money. So that's the other thing. You can get a lot of good things, but they're going to be really expensive, right? So most of the bars and stuff that people are eating, they're full of not very good oils. And they're using oils like safflower oil, canola oil, peanut oil. And those oils... Soy oil, again, soy is also a binder that's used in almost every single bar. So Ryan's using more nut butters and stuff to hold his bars together, or that coconut milk. But most commercial made bars are using soy lecithin, which is a binder. And for one, a lot of people are allergic to soy. And number two, soy is kind of a bad fat because it can actually increase inflammatory processes in the bodies. And so the fats we prefer in our household, we pretty much only eat, obviously, animal fats from lean animals, and then we eat coconut oil and
a ton of coconut
and we do a ton of extra virgin olive oil. So besides the coconut packets, you can also buy the single serving olive oil packets, and you get it that way. So you get a lot of calories, increased sustained energy, because fat decreases the absorption rate of things like fats and proteins, so you can utilize them for longer.
And to be honest, in the backcountry, you sometimes your appetite is like, it's hard to eat sometimes when you're hiking and grinding all day long. Sometimes the last thing you want to do is eat a bar or eat oatmeal. I don't have that problem, but I know a lot of guys do. So, and then you'll start to kind of dwindle. Your calories will be, you'll be losing a ton of calories and you'll be able to get it all back in. And, so oils are really easy. I mean, it's not too hard to suck on some olive oil packet or get a little coconut oil and
again, remember coconut, like we said in the last segment, coconut is just really the perfect food. It has such good fats in it, as well as fiber and nutrients. Some natural sugars, so it's a great food, I think, for the backcountry. And we love to watch, once in a while, we watch Survivor, and I always make comments. The only reason those people out there survive is because they're eating coconuts. It's definitely not the white rice that's keeping this a tiny bit of fat on those people. It's the nutrients from the coconut, if they're lucky to get them. So coconut's super important. And again, I think Ryan's been doing this over the years, is, how is he going to keep his pro-inflammatory system down and help help his body to and his immune system to work more efficiently in the backcountry. So these healthy snacks and fats are perfect for that.
Other than those bars, I will make jerky. Now, I know jerky isn't like the most efficient way to get protein and calories by weight, but I enjoy it. I don't add a whole ton of salt to my brine, so I'll make up, some teriyaki jerky that's not super sweet, or not super salty, but it's got some sweet to it. And I'll take some of that pretty much every trip. It's just kind of fun to pull a piece out and snack on it on occasion. But so I'll do that. And then the one other thing that I do, maybe a little different, is I dehydrate the crud out of fruit in the summer. Got a pear tree, got apples galore, so I'll just, like I said before, I keep that dehydrator running throughout the summer a ton. And it's so easy just to make a bunch of apple slices, pear slices, do a bunch of mangoes, and then just vacuum pack them. And they just a whole apple or two, it goes down to nothing when you backpack it once it's been dehydrated. Anytime throughout the day, if I'm bored or whatever and I want something different, I'll just pull out one of those, and they weigh nothing. I'll usually eat one for, later in the day as well. So dinner. But that's about it. That's pretty simple as far as food. It's between the dehydrated fruits, the bars, and those that little mountain mush recipe that I make. That's pretty well it. I don't do any Snicker bars or super high sugar bars, anything like that anymore. That's kind of old school, but so yeah, that's my program now. It works for me, but like everybody has their own flavors. Some guys might hate this recipe for mountain mush, but some guys might really like it, and I do. And I know everybody that I've had take it seems to love it. So.